tired of walking into rooms and your patient's dead. Uh, you just walk into a room and there's a dead body there. Uh, I'm, I'm tired of calling families and telling them that news. I cried the whole way home in the Uber tonight, and the driver was like, "Ma'am, are you okay?" I was like, I don't think people understand how stressful this job is. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, but it's so stressful.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Jackson Gaines. I'm a nurse at a hospital in New York City. That was tough to watch. At this time, never thought in my lifetime or my children's lifetime or my grandchildren's lifetime that I would see or experience such horrific times, this pandemic. As nurses, we are a rare breed. We put on our armor and we go out and we take care of patients, even though we may have things that in our home that need to be taken care of. And we do so with an excellent mindset. I can speak for myself. That's what I do. I love it. So I want to say to my fellow nurses to stay strong. Do what you do, what's in your heart, because as nurses, it's in our heart, or else we wouldn't be doing it. So, Michael, can you tell us a little bit about what it's been like for you?
Well, my name is Michael MERRITT. I'm a ER registered nurse at New York City Health and Hospitals, Bellevue. And I want to say to that nurse and to all the nurses who've answered the call, a simple thank you. You packed your bags, you left your families, and you came to help those of us who are already on the front lines. And you've been a tremendous support, and we feel your pain. I mean, we're there every single day, and it hurts deeply, but it also gives us hope that you still came to help us.
Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you, Michael. Dawn here, Dawn FELDTHOUSE from NYU Langone. I want to echo what both of you have said about thanking her for answering the call and being there on the front lines and giving her all. It's an unprecedented time that is pushing all of us to our limits, and I too have broken down into tears, and I'm so grateful for all of the support we've been seeing from our local communities and global communities. And I know that we're all in this together and we will overcome this pandemic together.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And yes, it is a call. Well, I mean, we've all been called. We're nurses, so we had the call. We answered the call. Professionally for me, it's been a rough road. It's been, I'm used to taking care of patients who are critically ill, who require a lot. But this is above and beyond. This is more than, I can't even put into words what it is. The type of patients I've taken care of. Most of them do have comorbidities, which puts them even at a higher risk. Some of them don't. Some of them are young, and going down this horrific road. So professionally, it's tough. It's anxiety ridden. Some nights I don't sleep. Most nights I don't sleep. Thinking about going back into the battlefield, taking care of patients, these patients. But it's also, I feel a lot of pride. Michael, do you want to maybe expound on that a bit?
Yes, thank you. I've been an emergency room trauma nurse for probably around 23 years, and as you probably well know, being an intensive care nurse, we've seen more we see more tragedy in a year than most people see in a lifetime. I mean, that's just on a normal given day, a year in the ER. But over the past several weeks, I've seen more tragedy than I've seen in my career. I I walk into work and I'm surrounded by people on ventilators. You know, you walk in one area and there's just a line, a room full of people on ventilators. You walk into another area of the emergency department and there's another group of people on ventilators. And I don't care how bad the flu season gets. I don't care how bad H1N1 was. We never, ever had upwards of 25 patients long-term on ventilators. That's where they stay. And it's incredible because, you know, we're an ER nurse. We treat them, we treat them. We get them to the rooms, and if they're on more than one or two IV medications, we're like, okay, they got to go because we're ready for the next patients. But we've become ICU nurses. We've become long-term nurses because these patients don't go anywhere. They stay on the ventilators for weeks at a time. It's so difficult because I have patients that pass away and I'm the only one in the room, and I FaceTime their families while they're dying, and it's not like they're in California. They're outside our hospital because they themselves can't come in because of their health problems. And it's been tough, you know, it's just, I've cried more times than I think I've ever cried as a nurse. And I've cried with families. I've cried with my staff members, the emotional toll that it takes on us. And we're tough. I consider us tough ER nurses and tough ICU nurses, and it hurts. It hurts, you know. And I just know that it's just been such an incredible. I don't even know what the words to say it. I'm like you. I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear ventilator alarms and I hear monitor alarms. It's like I wake up in this panic. I wake up thinking, do I have a fever? You know, I just woke up last night in a panic that I had a fever, and I didn't have a fever. You know, and so it's stressful. It's very stressful, but that's what we do. That's what we're called to do.
Right.
Since the beginning of this fight against COVID, one of the hardest things has been knowing that many of our patients are alone in these isolation rooms. And as a nurse informaticist, something that has given me hope in this situation and is that we've been able to respond. Like you said, Michael, you saw a nurse you used your phone for FaceTime with a patient's family. And we, as nurses here at NYU Langone, we were also engaged in FaceTime calls from our own personal devices with patients' families. And the organization as a whole, we've been able to respond to that and formed a team dedicated solely to going around with iPads to all of the patients' rooms across all of our hospitals.
But we will get through this, and that's the hope that I hold on to every day, and my faith. What about you, Michael and Dawn? Your hope?
What gives me hope is humanity. You know, what gives me hope is the call to unite, that we're reaching out to people across the world to unite, to help people. You know, I see travelers that have called, that came in and answered the call. They've come in, they've left their families, risking their own health. You know, I work with a woman who retired, and she's like, I just couldn't not come. So that gives me great hope to see the people that actually just, you know, they come in, they really truly just are there to help.
Well, for me, when I was in one of my darkest moments of feeling as helpless as that nurse appeared in her video, I was able to, I came home in tears and was wishing that there was something more I could do. And I was able to create a fundraiser campaign through our nyulangone.org/give/fight COVID. And when I started that campaign, I knew we needed more PPE, personal protective equipment for, like masks, gowns. We were trying to establish housing for thousands of nurses coming in to support from all over. And as the gifts started coming into the fundraiser, they were all accompanied with just an outpouring of love. Reading through all of those notes, really, it made me, it helped me see the support that was always there, because in my little loop of going into the COVID units, going into the isolation units, going home, trying to get some sleep and coming back, it was sometimes there was a disconnect where I wasn't necessarily always aware of all these people who wanted to help and were there to help and already were helping. And it was a beautiful way for me to be inspired and get the energy to keep going in day after day.
Right. And if this has done nothing else, it has united us. This, for something so horrific, this pandemic, it has united us, shown that we're all the same.
Right.
Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you have.
Yeah, the community has been such great. I'm sorry. I wanted to add that to that when we're talking about united is the community that's the restaurants that's donating food, and the physicians and even Bellevue Hospital and New York City Health and Hospitals. They've getting people hotel rooms that don't want to go home and contaminate their family. And it's incredible. Every day there's just food and nourishment for us. And so, it's definitely great and gives me hope to see that people just come together.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you're doing every day.